So what guardrails does PepsiCo have in place to ensure transparency, fairness, and really using it ethically?
Yeah, great question. So PepsiCo was actually one of the first organizations to really embrace responsible AI and develop a framework for responsible AI very early on. And when you think about the frenetic pace of AI, certainly the capabilities haven't, or the really the guardrails, the governance haven't really kept pace with the capabilities. Right? Capabilities far exceeded the guardrails, and to some extent, to a large extent, it still does. So PepsiCo came out very early on with there were 9 sort of principles that we had, which has since been replaced, by the way. And so we're following the OECD organizations for economic cooperation and development. So there are 42 some odd countries, 47 that are part of this that have opted into this framework, which is really all about AI principles, and it's everything you just said. It's transparency, fairness, explainability, and then human centricity as well, and sustainability are part of the principles. And so we've used that as our framework. We've since embedded it into PepsiCo. And there were 2 pillars that sprung from that. There was an AI policy that really sort of governs how you go about implementing responsible AI, and the guardrails and how you remain compliant with IT and so forth. And then there's an actual SOP, a standard operating procedure, in terms of how you track it and monitor it and ensure that you're implementing the AI policies correctly. There's also an entire governance committee. So when I talked earlier about all this capability that's coming up in our SaaS providers, we can't just willy-nilly turn those on. You actually have to go through a governance committee that's a cross-representation of legal, compliance, HR, information security, data scientists, that we have to kind of sit down and go through, okay, what does it do? We following our principles? Is there any bias, right? Especially in the talent acquisition space. So yeah, I feel very proud actually of where we are and the guardrails we have to implement AI responsibly.
How often are you meeting with the governance committee, and how many people would you say are on this committee?
As often as needed. And so there are about 7 people on the committee, sort of working members, and then there's a governance committee, oversight committee above that of more senior stakeholders. But yeah, so if tomorrow we decide, hey, we're interested in this AI, this Gen AI that's happening in one of my tech stacks, we'll have to tee that up, get all the information behind it, what it does, how it works, and then we present that to committee, and then there's a sort of a back and forth and a review and an approval before we move forward.
We'll be right back. Back to the show.
Got it. Okay. And I think that's fair to say, because, and especially when you're creating a committee, I think it's really important to have those diverse voices across the organization. Otherwise, it's, you're reporting to, maybe some people with groupthink or only look at it in one way and one perspective. And I've seen that happen, unfortunately. But designing and creating a committee, I think, is really, really important to regulate the fairness and bring in all perspectives.